We don't have any idea like who he is.
And I literally just squealed when I found out.
So that's a little like, eh. And I just love when she goes back at him.
But it's breaking my heart. Like,
I don't know, something just seems like off.
Well, hello, my friends. It is about a week into the month of September, and let's just say I am exhausted. My first week back to work was so tiring, so busy, so chaotic, and it is Saturday, and I don't want to do anything. Like, no schoolwork, no work, nothing. So I figure what a perfect time to start my September pick by Laurie at Books, Ink, and Paper. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. Excuse Nugget in the background causing chaos. Anyway, I have not started it yet, and I am thinking it is the perfect time to start this. Today has been so far just a lazy day. There's not much I can do. It's like very hot and humid outside. And we're going to have a huge severe thunderstorm. So it's not like I can really do much outside to clean up or anything like that, which would have been the plan today. One, it's just too humid, and two, anything that I clean up is probably just gonna get a mess anyway. I was gonna put some fall stuff out and things like that, but yeah, I think today is just gonna be a reading day. So I am going to start The Secret Life of Addie Larue by V.E. Schwab, and I will check back in and let you know my thoughts and things like that, and we'll see how the start of this book goes and if I'm enjoying it. Well, it's Sunday. So yesterday I read one chapter and then I crashed. I did like nothing. I did some laundry and got through one chapter, and then like it was not a good day. But anyway, today I read a lot more. So I'm up to I think I just finished chapter 14. And so far it's a little like predictable, right? But not in a bad way. Like typical 1700s woman does not want to follow the path that is expected of her, right? You know, it's very typical that you're supposed to get married and have kids and all these things, right? So Addie does not want that life, and she makes that very, very clear. And that is when she makes this deal, right? But so far we're just kind of getting her backstory up until the point that she makes this not even deal, but like a wish that turns into a deal, which I liked that. So like I liked how so far it started with where she is in the present, I think it's 2014, but where she is in the present, and then we go back and find out what happens up until the point that she meets the gods that answer after dark. Right now my heart is breaking for Addie. It just seems so, I mean, not seems, it is such a lonely life. And so far, like in the past timeline, like it's still very new to her, and it's very heartbreaking, and she's getting used to the fact that like nobody remembers who she is. And it's very weird though, like, because it's like as soon as she leaves somebody's sight, so she could be in the presence of somebody, like I think there was a scene where her best friend, right, who obviously doesn't know who she is in this moment, and then like she says, "Are you lost? Let me help you." And then she goes to leave the room, and as soon as she leaves the room, because Addie's no longer in her sight, she forgets who this woman is, or even that she exists or whatever. So that's very sad. And in the present, like she is just living almost like the same life over and over again. So this is all just, like I said, I'm only 14 chapters in, so I'm not even 100 pages in, and all of this is happening already. So I'm excited to see where this goes. and what's gonna happen with the god. I don't think we actually, like, so far, like, we don't have any idea, like, who he is, just that he is one of the gods, that she shouldn't have interacted with, and I don't even know, they call him the alluring Lue, I think. I don't know how to say it. It's in French. I'm listening to the audio as well as reading. But anyway, yeah. So far I'm enjoying it. But again, I am very, very early on. And I really want to see a lot more of her story and what happens. I'm hoping that we get to the point very soon that she wakes up and the person recognizes her, right? Because in the synopsis, it says at one point, it'll be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. And I think I know who that might be at this point. Maybe not, I could be totally wrong, but we did meet a few people, so I think maybe I have like an inkling of who that might be. So we'll see. But anyway, it is Sunday night. It is almost 8 o'clock. I just finished getting some stuff ready for the week. Cleaned up the kitchen, got some lunches together. I got some laundry going. I did a few washes of things. Because, I'm trying to get as much done on Sunday or even on Saturday, because I don't want to be like scrambling during the week. My classes start on Tuesday for the fall semester. I have both of them on the same day. And so, here's Nugget again. Sorry, guys. So today was a busy day of doing all that stuff, but I did get a lot of introductory reading in, so I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna head up to bed. Well, not to bed, it's only 8 o'clock, but I am gonna go upstairs, straighten up, get my clothes ready for tomorrow, lay down, read some more, and I'll check back in to let you know how far I get, if I'm enjoying it and things like that. So far, like I said, it's still very early on, so there's nothing to not really enjoy. So we'll just see how the story progresses.
Okay, so it's been a while since I checked in, and I have some thoughts. I'm going to come back and let you know my thoughts later. I had some theories about Henry, and my theories turned out to be wrong, and I literally just squealed when I found out the truth. Oh my God. I'm driving right now. Well, not like right this second. I'm pulled over right now. But like, I need to just get all my thoughts out.
Okay, sorry for the little bit of a weird angle. I just, don't have my tripod. But, oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm a little bit more than halfway through. And I had some theories about who Henry is, who is the person who, after 300 years, finally recognizes and remembers Addie. My theories originally turned out to be wrong. I actually, for some reason, didn't really pick up on part of the reason until it actually came through, and we found out what it was. So I enjoyed that. I gasped, like I said in the car before. I audibly gasped at that reveal. So that was pretty cool. There are a lot of things that I just love. There was one scene where she calls him the darkness, the devil or the god that answered after dark. She calls him the darkness, but then she also assigns him the name Luke. And she gets into that and everything like that. But she mentions things oh, maybe nobody will remember me, but I can plant ideas and watch them grow. And I absolutely love that. So there's a whole bunch. So she's in France in the 1700s, which is the start and height of the Enlightenment. And just as a history teacher, as a history, I have a bachelor's in history and things like that. I mean, most, the average person, you could pick on these things, but just the little references that I'm noticing, and I'm just thinking through all of that. So I'm really enjoying that so far. I probably will finish in the next couple of days. I've been doing mostly audio just because I've been listening to a lot on the way to work and at work. Every time I pick up the book, It's just like things that, keep getting in the way, so it's been a very busy first week back to school and back to work. Some parts I'm finding are dragging on a little bit too much. Like, I do like the backstory that they're giving us, and it's all relevant, I think, but then there's like a lot that I'm like, well, this really, like, why are we dragging this on? Like, the beginning of when she made the deal, I get. Nugget is just jumped on the table, so. So that's a little like, I'm kind of getting like, all right, let's go now. I love the current day. I think it's 2014. 2014, because it's 30 years. I love the current day timeline, obviously, but maybe there's like a reason. I can't wait to see like, what the connection maybe is, things like that. But I am adoring this book so far. Like I said, there's just things that she's saying, she keeps saying that she's, like, every time she meets up with the darkness, the stranger, because he says, like, once you're ready to give me your soul, I'm going to take it. And she just keeps saying, no, like, you're going to come for me and I'm going to find all of these reasons to just keep living and enjoying this curse that you gave me of being invisible. And I just love when she goes back at him. It's like so fun to watch that. So that's like parts of my favorite parts of the book, other than her scenes with Henry. So that's where I am right now. It is Friday. I am about to turn on sprints for series September. No, it is not Friday. It is Thursday. Oh my goodness. Guys, my days are all messed up. Anyway, so there are sprints for series September that I'm going to turn on. So I'm going to sit and read some more of this. I also started reading A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, which is a cozy fantasy that I literally just started. So I might switch back and forth. But that's where I am on this. And again, I'm sorry there hasn't been a lot going on because I've been, hi Nugget, mostly working. I guess Nugget just wants, yeah. Anyway, so I'm sorry there hasn't been a lot of updating in the moment, things like that. But that's where I am. I'm enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to finish and see how all this comes together.
Okay, it is Friday, and this first week, like first full week with kids every day, it's been a little rough. So last week, we didn't go back till Tuesday, and then the kids didn't come in till Thursday. So yeah, but I have been getting through Addie Larue. I'm still enjoying it. I'm loving the conversations that Addie's having with Henry. This is not like an exciting, like action-packed book like I've been reading, recently. So it's kind of like a nice break. I'm just loving like the philosophical things, like how ideas are better than memories, or they're stronger than memories. And then just like Addie seeing all of these little like ideas that she's like planting and nobody really knows, obviously, that it's her, and then seeing them come to life. I'm just loving it. I really love when she goes back at Luke, the darkness. The things that she says to him is just so great. Like, she just keeps going back at him and saying, like, yeah, you cursed me. I should have known better, but I'm going to make the best of this. And like, just the back and forth with him between, like, the evil and the, like, you don't know who I am. And then just, like, oh, Addie, like, trying to coax her in to get her to give him our soul. It's like, yeah. Again, like the past stuff is getting a little like but actually now I'm enjoying it more because like we're getting into like some more just bigger events, and just like I understand that it's like her telling her story through her life and things like that. But it's breaking my heart. Like, it's breaking my heart that nobody except for Henry remembers her or knows her. Like, just, she's invisible. But I just love how she keeps saying, like, I'm a ghost, I'm invisible. And then Henry just keeps going back at her and saying, like, no, you're not. No matter what, like, you're not. Like, you're here.
And then they just keep coming back and like every time that happens, just like, you know, referring to the ideas that she plants. And they were like images that were drawn over like many different centuries and just like finding them. Those are pretty cool. So I'm enjoying this. I just want to get to like see what happens. Like I'm just like, come on, like let's get to it. Not in a bad way, but like I'm just so excited to get there. So that's where I am. I should finish, not today. I don't think I'm going to finish today, but I should definitely finish by tomorrow or maybe Sunday, depending on how busy things go this weekend. But I will definitely finish this weekend. So I'm very excited for this. And again, this is like one of those books that I got from Book of the Month like a few years ago. And it just sat on my shelves, not because I had no interest in it, but just like I kept forgetting that it was there. So I'm very happy that Laurie has recommended this to me and like I actually picked it up because it was like, why did I wait so long to get this? So I'm gonna eat something, I'm gonna settle in because I just got home from work and I'm exhausted, I'm a mess. And yeah, I'm just gonna read a little bit more. There's not a lot of shock value to these things like that she's telling, and I get it, like I don't think it's supposed to be, I mean, except for like a couple of things that we come across. So we'll see how it ends. We'll see like what's going on. And, you know, I'm just loving like the little elements of like, I guess magic. I wouldn't consider this a fantasy, more like magical realism, I guess. You know, because you got the gods, like the old gods that she refers to. You know, and there's just a few things. Like when she goes back home and, you know, to see like many years, I think it was like 50 years later at that point. Or maybe not quite that much, maybe. But still, it was like decades later that she goes back home and she sees like the graves of certain people, like Estelle, who was already old when she left, you know, things like that. And just like her putting Estelle's voice in her head of like what she would do and say. And so, you know, getting heartbreaking, but like I'm loving, I guess that's why I'm loving the current timeline, the 2014 timeline, so much better, just because at least she has somebody, like she's not completely invisible and somebody sees her value, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I'll check back in when I get some more done. All right, well, it is about 1:30 on Saturday. I am about to do my nails. I am listening to more. I'm about 80% through, and I don't know, something just seems like off about the darkness or Luke or whatever you want to call him, because he has a whole bunch of different names that Addie, like, you know, calls him and the descriptions. I mean, obviously, like, he's not a good guy, entity, whatever, but just like, I can't tell if certain things are like taunting Addie, like that's what it just automatically seems to be. But then there's things that I'm like, no, something's going on, and it's like, I don't know, like I can't say much because then it would like spoil something, but I feel like a lot of this situation that we're finding out, like about Henry and just the fact that he's in the picture at all, and then it's just like yeah, something's up. But I don't know, we keep going back to the past timeline, and that's where we see him. Not a lot in like the 2014 timeline. Like I don't know if I don't remember, did he come up at all since she's met Henry? I don't remember. I think so, but anyway, I don't know, something's going on, and we're getting too close to the end. So I want to finish this today because I need to know what all of this is and how this ties together. I mean, just the fact that obviously they keep referring to Addie with the stars, and I mean, there's just so many different interpretations, I feel like, that are like so cool, and just, yeah. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to work on that for a little bit. I tried to do some schoolwork today for my assignment that's due on Tuesday. It's not really like a huge assignment. It's just like a discussion board. I have to read some blogs or listen to a podcast and, you know, regularly refer back to the ones on a couple of like tech
issues in the classroom and libraries. So like one of them's gamification, one of them's like cybersecurity, like VR, AI, all these things. So I tried to do that. I started reading some articles and I just like couldn't focus today. So I think I'm going to shift that. I'm going to work on that tomorrow. And then today I'm just going to focus on finishing Addie Larue and just do some things to relax because it's been a crazy week. And yeah, so I will check back in and let you know if anything that I'm thinking in my head is gonna come to fruition or if it's just something that I have to like wait and see what happens. Okay, so we just had a big moment. I gotta see how this ends. Oh my God. All right, I guess let's go. All right, so the darkness says things that it's like, is he taunting her? Is he right? Is what he's saying true? Is there some other cosmic connection between Addie and Luke? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, never mind. Forget everything that I just said. I got my answer. Well, I finished my nails. I know it's kind of like hard to see, but the green one has like this sparkle. Kind of like a perfect fall transition color. And I finished Addie Larue. Oh man, that's all I have to say. All of the thoughts and the roller coaster and the mind bending and the questions and everything that went through my mind when reading this book. Oh my God. The ending, I have no words. I have no words. So I rated this 4.5. As I said earlier, there were some parts that I felt like were very detailed and kind of like too detailed. It kind of felt like it was filler. However, it had its purpose. Like when we get to the end, there was a purpose to every single story that was told in this book up until and even after Addie meets Henry. So I'm landing on like a 4.75. Like I feel like we probably still could have gotten the same impact and like purpose with maybe just like still telling those stories, but maybe like finding a way to like fine tune some of those details, or like not really details, just like descriptions of certain things. Hi, Misty girl. They think it's time to eat. It's only 3:45. They still got like at least another hour. You're interrupting my rating and my end of my vlog. She doesn't care. But anyway, I have another successful month. Laurie, I am so happy that I picked this up. Thank you so much for being my September pick and recommending that I pick up Addie Larue. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely perfect. So worth it. And yeah. By the way, if you're not already following Laurie, like you need to go follow her. Like every single month I say this, that you need to go follow all these people because they're just amazing. So thanks so much, Laurie, for giving me my September recommendation. And make sure you check back to see who I asked and what my recommendation is going to be for October. And let me know down in the comments, what did you think of this book? Because I kind of thought maybe it was going to be a little too hyped, which is why it took me so long to pick it up. But yeah, I was mistaken. So I need to know your thoughts. Did you think that? Did you think it was overhyped? Did you love it? I just need to know. Anybody that read this, I need to know your thoughts. And if you just want to let me know that you were here, but you're not in the mood to comment, then leave me some kind of star emoji down in the comments. Well, that's all I have for now. Bye.